Hello everyone, so if you clicked on this video, you're probably trying to figure out how to make your Instagram Reels, your TikToks, your YouTube Shorts look just like everyone else that's flying FPV and that's been doing this for a long time. So that's exactly what I'm gonna show you right on Premiere Pro. And if you want, you can kind of follow along with my process. You can copy it, write things down, do what you gotta do. But I'm just gonna show you the easiest way to get high quality uploads and get creative with your edits. So follow along. Alright guys, so the first step to this is you need to have a video that you already recorded with your GoPro or whatever you're using. I'm going to show you my process using the GoPro's smoothing software and going through that editing process to show you what that's like. I'm going to use this clip right here and just show you how I do it. So if you don't already have the GoPro player installed, it's in the Microsoft Store. So you just got to log into your Microsoft Store account and just download GoPro player. And then purchase Real Steady Go, and then basically you just link your license to this app, and it all works seamlessly, or usually it does anyway. I usually just have the file pulled up right here, and then I can just kind of drag it over top of the app, and it pulls it up. Now we have the video clip in Real Steady. I'm just gonna drag it to kind of where I want the video to start, because I sort of know. Okay, and then we can adjust the smoothing settings. So using these controls, we can pick the smoothness. Usually I don't like to add too much because I want to keep the field of view as big as possible. And so when using Real Steady, if you use the little scissor icon, you can actually select kind of the start trim of the clip and like the end trim of the clip. So yeah, I'm just gonna drag out a little bit of it here. Yeah, we'll go to, let's say right about here. Okay, so that's gonna be our clip. And then that's really all I need from this. So we can go ahead and press OK, export trim. And you can change a lot of settings in here. So for me, I like to use Cineform because that's the highest quality export you can get out of here and in my native export resolution. But honestly, if you're recording in like 1080p or something like that, I would recommend just recording 4K out of here anyway, just to get the highest quality. So then we can click next, and you can rename it or just place it in this folder however you want. So yeah, I can't type, but we'll call it YouTube example and let it export. And then I'll see you guys in a second. So yeah, now you can close that out. What I like to do is open up a Premiere Pro project. And just for the sake of example, I already have like quite a few videos in this project right here. Really all you have to do is follow these few steps to edit some vertical video, okay? So if I just scroll over here, you can just pretend that this is a never used project before. And then what you want to do to make sure you're editing in a vertical format for shorts and reels and TikTok, you go to sequence settings up here on the top, sequence, then sequence settings. Basically, you want to adjust the frame size to be 9:16 rather than 16:9. So even if you recorded video horizontally, you can flip it to the side and make it vertical, or you can record vertical, and then when you go to edit it, make sure that you're also editing vertical so that way you're not like losing any detail in your video. So yeah, basically instead of having 3840 by 2160, we just flip that. Now we have 9:16 resolution. And make sure that you're running with Rec 709 here, as well as whatever display format FPS that you use. So I use 24 FPS, and that should be good. So you can go ahead and press OK. Now really all we need to do is drag in our clip. So boom. By the way, for FPV videos, I'd recommend just deleting the audio because it sounds terrible. Unless you're trying to do something cool with it. I never use it, so I'm just gonna delete it. And now you can see I'm editing in the new workspace. So this one's color, and I have it kind of the panel set up for vertical video. You can also, there's now a vertical tab over here. So if you click up here in the corner, you can edit in vertical. But I like to do a lot of color grading and stuff like that. So I'm gonna leave it how it is. But you can see how there's like these black bars. So I actually recorded this video horizontally, but for the sake of short form content, I'm gonna rotate it so it's actually gonna look sideways when you see it on your phone, but most people will just intuitively turn their phone to look at it anyway. I think it's kind of a cool thing to do, and most people probably don't really think twice about it. So all we're gonna do is click on the video and go to rotation, type in 90 degrees, and now it just perfectly fits the frame. So at this point, usually what I would do is go to your favorite social media and pretty much go find whatever trending audio you want to use. If you're not someone who wants to follow the bandwagon on that, you can also just add your own sounds or use whatever sounds already there. There's a lot of options at this point, so this is where your creativity can definitely just take off. And you can actually mix audio from trending sounds and the sound of the video that you edited, sorry. So depending on how you want to do it, it's up to you. But But for me, I'm just gonna use a trending audio, slap it on there, and upload this thing. So basically my process from here is gonna be just to scroll on my phone, find an audio that works for me, and then come back on here with an idea of what I want to do. All right, so I found one that I think will look kind of cool. It's just one of those simple like color grading videos. So what I'm gonna do is I actually have some presets for color grades already made. So that's what these other videos over here already are. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag that over. And you can see the colors are a lot different. So there's kind of like before and after, right? So I like the way that looks, but I want it to kind of fade in. This is a really popular thing right now. So what I'm gonna do is right when we fly through these trees, I'm gonna shorten the intro a little bit. Right when we fly through these trees, I'm gonna have the color grade kind of kick in. Just so I know where that is, I'm gonna mark it there, and I'm gonna have the color grade transition start somewhere around here. So if we go to our marker, click on the little stopwatch. So we're gonna add some keyframes to change the position of the clip, of the adjustment layer specifically. And then we're going to the beginning of the adjustment layer. And if we look, I'm gonna drag the x-axis to move it left and right. And I'm gonna look at the actual vertical video clip that we have here and see where it looks like. So I kind of want it to go from like top to bottom rather. So something like this. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. And that's it. So we're gonna set our in and out points. Just not gonna do any fancy like looping transition or anything like that. I think this is plenty. I think that would take away from the style of it. So really that's all I wanted to do. All we gotta do now is go to the export settings. So there's a few ways you can do this. I usually just make sure I'm selected on you see how there's like the blue square? I just make sure I'm selected down here in the timeline, and I do Control M. Otherwise you can just go up to File and click on Export. But if you do it this way, now we get to pick our export settings, okay? And make sure that you have set your range to source in and out, because we set the in and out points using I and O on the keyboard. And now you can change the name here, so YouTube example or whatever. Change the file area, okay, that works for me. And now this is very important if you're trying to get the file back on your phone to then upload. A lot of these social media platforms, you have to upload from your Photos app, at least for iPhones. You upload from your Photos app to Instagram, for example. For some reason, iPhones do not let you move 4K video in vertical format, 9:16, into the Photos app if it's H.264. I know this is a lot of information for some of you that are probably beginner to this. But it took me a while to figure this out. So it will accept H.265 in 4K vertical video. So to avoid any other shenanigans, basically set your format to HEVC, H.265, and then I have a preset already made here. But really the main things you want is to go through your video settings here. Make sure that you have your frame size correct. You want it to be 4K or 3840 by 2160, but it's 9:16, remember, so it's flipped. Your frame rate's right. Just do square pixels. If we go to more, you can use maximum render quality and Rec 709. Make sure it's that high tier. And then this isn't 100% necessary, but I just maxed out the bitrate settings. So that just helps keep a little more quality in the video when you export it. But this is definitely overkill for something like Instagram. But for me, I don't care. So may as well max it out. And then you're done. Now that you have that set up, I'd recommend just saving that as a preset. You can go here and just save it as a preset. So now whenever I select H.265 as my export setting, it automatically loads this up and I don't even have to think about changing the settings and maybe forgetting something. So yeah, now you can just go ahead and press export, and we'll see it in the file explorer afterward. All right, so now that we've exported the video, we're gonna open up the file explorer, and then we're also gonna open up iTunes. So if you don't have iTunes installed, go get iTunes. And now all we need is a lightning cable. Plug it into your laptop or your computer or whatever, and your phone. And then you just plug your phone into your computer. Then you'll hear the wonderful Windows sound. And if you haven't already, it might ask you to like allow device and stuff like that. Just make sure you I think it's trust device. make sure you click trust, and otherwise it'll just not let you manipulate any files. And I believe there was a setting for me that I had to change that basically allowed me to move files around. I would have to look that up again to help you guys with that, but if any of you are having issues with that, I can dig that up and let you know in the comments below. Most of you shouldn't have this issue, so now that you have iTunes installed, you plugged your phone in, all we need to do is select on the little phone icon up here. After we click cancel, click there, and then we're gonna go to file sharing, and then really you can use any of these folders that come here. I have the GoPro Quick app already installed, so just for the sake of simplicity for me, I'm gonna use this as my, like my video folder. But any of these should work because they're just file storage area in your Files app on your iPhone. And then all we gotta do, drag it over. And it's gonna copy the files over, and then you can go onto your iPhone and do the rest from here. So now that we have it dragged onto our Files app, all we gotta do is go to the app library, type in Files, open up Files, and then you can see there's a lot of layers to this. You can go to, on my iPhone, because that's where I saved it, GoPro Quick, and now it should be in here, called YouTube Example. And then if you press the button in the bottom left, you can then go ahead and click on Save Video. And then what that does is it actually saves that video clip to your Photos app. So then you can go to Instagram and then click on Create Reel. You can use whatever audio you want. I'm not gonna select one just for the sake of the video. I don't know if there's gonna be any copyright or anything issues. So, but then you can click on the plus icon at the bottom and then tap on your video, and it's gonna pull it up. So basically now you just wanna make sure that it looks right and there's no issues with it. Line up the audio with the video, do what you need to do. Click add, press next again. Now you can write your caption, you can edit a cover if you want. You can even add a different cover like a thumbnail if you want to. I typically don't because I'm not that nitpicky about it, but yeah, then you can go ahead and add your location and tag people and do all that fun stuff like you normally would. And then go ahead and share it. So hopefully this taught some of you how to correctly upload things to social media nowadays. It took me a long time to get this process down, but now that I have it this way, my uploads look 1,000 times better than they did when I was trying to use cloud services and just doing a lot of different things and just degrading the quality along the way. So if this did help you, please consider subscribing because I got a lot more videos coming out just teaching people about FPV and video editing and cameras and all the fun stuff around that. So if you're interested, please go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.